So thank you all for being here today for the official ribbon cutting for our first three Bezos Academies that are opening. I am going to turn it over to the woman who really helped bring us all here today, Lisa Dischinger, who is chair of the Rita June Foundation Board and co-founder of LDG Development. So, Lisa, go for it.
Thank you, Christy. Thank you all so much for being here, and welcome to the Bezos Academy Eclipse. Yay! It is really very much surreal that we are standing here today. I want to first and foremost thank Bezos Academy for saying yes to us, for saying yes to me and Christy. For this journey started about 5 years ago with Bezos Academy when they sent us an email. Today, I would be scared that we wouldn't have opened the email, but thank goodness that we did. It was a email that was easy to say yes to. Christy called me and said, hey, we got this email and there's this Bezos Academy. And I'm like, well, what is that? And she said, it's a Montessori inspired preschool, free, and they want to try and partner with us to build them. And I said, you got me with Montessori. Montessori started for me about 3 decades ago when I was a young mother and I had 2 kids. And I didn't know what to do for my children for education. I myself never went to kindergarten. I started in 1st grade, and I hated school, and I always hated school. And when it came time for me to put my children in school, I was like, I didn't want that for them. I needed something that they would love to learn. I wanted them to be inspired. I wanted them to love to go to school. And I didn't know what to do. And my mother said, she was working at a high school at the time, and she said, let me find out what to do. And so one of the teachers said, you got to send them to Montessori. And I'm like, well, what is that? And she said, I don't know, but you're going to do it. And I said, okay. And so I put my son in Montessori, and my daughter followed, and our experience changed their lives. It changed my life. I learned how to be a better mom. I learned how to make sure the children did what they were supposed to do, but more importantly, my children learned how to take care of themselves. They learned how to make sure that I did what I was supposed to do and what they were responsible for. And we are talking about kids who are 3, 4, and 5 years old. So this was an easy yes for us. Now, I'd like to say that back then I was like, yeah, I'm going to make sure that kids all over Louisville have this opportunity. But I'm telling you, back then, I was just trying to pay the bills, and I was trying to make sure we had a roof over our heads, because we were trying to start this little old business, this real estate business, and Chris was working all the time, and I didn't know how we were paying our bills. And I was doing property management, and I know a lot of you all out there that work for LDG understand what I am talking about. And I would go to work every day, and I would talk to families, and I would talk to single mothers, and I would talk to people, and we would cry together because they didn't know how they were going to pay their bills. And if they didn't pay theirs, I couldn't pay mine. And I knew that we had to figure it out. And sometimes we did, and sometimes we didn't. So you fast forward to today, and you all just don't know how much I know this is going to affect people's lives. Just over the last 4 to 6 weeks, I'm going to tell you a couple stories. I had a grandmother who just recently got her grandkids unexpectedly. And she didn't know how she was going to do it. She had a job. How's she going to have a job? Her job wasn't going to be enough to pay for childcare. And she got the notice that she got them into Bezos. That's going to change her life. It's going to change their life. And she was so relieved. Another story. I've got a worker at a homeless that works with the homeless. she's got her daughter, and she struggled with trying to find quality childcare for her daughter. While she's trying to take care of the most vulnerable in our society, she was worried about taking care of her own child. She got the notice that her child got into one of these academies. You don't know the kind of relief that is for her. Those are the stories already that are coming through. And I can't imagine over the next 10 years all the stories we're going to get with the amount of children that get to come through these doors and the other 3 academies that are going to be opening here in Louisville. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who is here, because it wasn't just us that made this happen. Yes, we took the email. Yes, we went out and we visited with Miguel and Mike, and we convinced him very calmly to come to Louisville. But from there, the community here came together, and we showed them how great Louisville is, and they have fell in love with Louisville. And I am just so proud of our community, because this is going to make a huge, huge difference. With that, I want to thank some very special people. I want to thank Mark Lechner, who has been a partner of ours for longer than I really want to say, because I don't want to age myself. So, or Mark. So thank you for always being supportive of our missions along the way. I want to thank my husband, Chris, who's always been there for me. Sorry, I said I wasn't going to cry. He's always been supportive of everything I wanted to do for my children. And he's always been supportive of all the services that we provide for our tenants, because he knows that I know what it means to struggle. I want to thank everyone at LDG Development, from the developers to the builders to everyone in between, the administrators. You all do not understand that what you do every day made this possible. It wasn't just us. It's you guys, and thank you so, so much. I want to thank the philanthropic community, and I am going to name them off here, so I do have to read that. So, Lift a Life Foundation, Ashley Novak. If it was not for you, you stepped up. You were the very first one to step up for us, and you have been there. She is also with Thrive by 5, one of the mayor's great initiatives that is really going to work so well with the Bezos Academy. Thank you. CNS Foundation, who has contributed and supported to the work of LDG development, not only with this, but with our after-school programs and many, many things. James Graham Brown Foundation, the Geens Foundation, the Social Weavers Foundation, the Legacy Foundation. I also want to thank a very, very, very special person who, without her, we would really not be standing here today. She knows what it takes to impact one person's life and what this has done. And without her by my side through this whole thing, it would not have happened. And that is Christy Lanier Robinson. She has pushed me and said, I don't care, you're doing it. Let's just keep going, and we can keep going. So thank you. Thank you so much. Another wonderful thing that has happened along this way is we have formed the Rita June Foundation. And the Rita June Foundation is named after my grandmother. And my grandmother is the one who taught me, you bring people in, you do what you can, you never leave somebody on the street, you never leave somebody going hungry. And she always, always took people in, and her spirit is in this building. Her spirit is everything that we do. And so I just want to make sure that I mention my grandmother. And with that, I am going to introduce to you our next speaker, which is Lieutenant Governor Coleman. Would you like to come up? Oh, there you are. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Anytime I see Lisa and Chris, I know that we got some good news to deliver. So it is great to be with you all today. I remember when we were at this groundbreaking, And time really does fly. So we all wear so many hats. I am here as your lieutenant governor, but I am also Kentucky's highest selected teacher. And probably more appropriate, I am Evelyn's mom. And Evelyn is a 5-year-old who started kindergarten this year and is thriving because she had such a wonderful experience in pre-K. And so what I want for Evelyn is what I want for every kid in Kentucky, not just some, not just the wealthiest communities, not just the communities with the biggest businesses, but I think every child in Kentucky deserves access to pre-K because of the way it will change the trajectory of their lives. And I'm going to be very, very clear about the data behind this because there is no need to mix words on this one. So follow me on this. We project prison populations by third grade literacy rates. The number one predictor of third grade literacy rates is kindergarten readiness. The number one way to ensure that a child is kindergarten ready is access to pre-K. It really is that simple. We have two choices. We can invest in kids on the front end, or we are literally going to pay for it on the back end. Our choice is to build preschools or prisons. I don't know about you, but preschools look a lot better to me. And the truth here is that the Commonwealth of Kentucky will never reach its full potential if we allow a child's zip code to determine their place in the world before they've ever walked into the first day of kindergarten. And here's why this is important. Governor Beshear and I have been working tirelessly to build a better economy in Kentucky, one that reaches everybody and every corner. It's why we've been able to announce over $40 billion of private sector investments to create over 70,000 new good-paying jobs. And Mayor, you were with us last month when we got to announce $7 billion of investments right here in Louisville with GE and Ford and iconic American companies that are choosing us. But here's what's really important. When it comes to economic development and job creation, it doesn't mean a thing if we don't invest in the foundation of that, which is education, and most importantly, early childhood education. And that is why the work that has been done to make this possible and the work that will be done to continue to create opportunities for the kids in this neighborhood is so important. This Bezos Academy is going to be the reason that workforce participation in this area increases, especially for women. This Bezos Academy is going to be the reason that these households have more money to take home in their pockets. This Bezos Academy is the reason why opportunity is going to be available for children whose trajectory of their lives will be changed forever because they get to have this opportunity. And it makes me so excited that Mayor Greenberg has led this charge since he has been in the mayor's office, and what a team you have put together all the way down the line with Ashley and Raylene and the whole crew that is really working on Thrive by 5. And with partners like LDG Development and the Bezos Academy, we are going to make a difference, one preschool at a time. So thank you all so much for being here. God bless you, and may God continue to bless the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Good morning, everyone. What a day and morning this is. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Governor Coleman, Lisa. What a powerful story of how this began and what motivates you and Chris and your team at LGG, and what you all do for our community is unmatched and so very impactful. It is great to be here today for many reasons. There's a lot going on in our city today. We're getting ready to welcome 75,000 of our closest friends this evening to Louder Than Life at the fairgrounds. We've got Russell Homecoming just a few blocks away from us here. But there is nothing more important to our city today and to our city's future than what we're doing right here today by opening up these Bezos Academies. You know, like Lieutenant Governor Coleman, I come from a family of educators. Both of my parents started their careers as public school teachers in New York City. I'm married to an amazing educator who taught in the JCPS school system and still reads with kids today throughout our JCPS system. And Rach, it's great to have you here with us today. Her mom is a public school teacher in Rhode Island. I grew up in the public school system, having the opportunity to have attended preschool. And the ability for me to have the honor of serving as mayor today, I trace back to the opportunities that I had from my education experience. But we all today here know that not every child has those same opportunities. For many, as Lieutenant Governor Coleman said, their first day in the classroom is when they walk in for kindergarten, and that's already too late. For too many parents today, they're having to make the hard choice of can they re-enter the workforce after having a child or afford the high cost of childcare, of quality preschool. When I got elected mayor, I didn't want to let a day go to waste. I didn't want to focus just on the short-term solutions that are before the next election, but think about what the long-term solutions are. How do we make our city safer? How do we make our city healthier and stronger, not just for the next couple of years, but for the next couple of generations? And the way to do that is through early childhood education. And so that's why I'm so thrilled to be here today, because we have taken many initiatives already together with so many amazing partners that are gathered here today. I want to give a giant thanks to Marianne and Leanne and my entire team and our administration who worked on our early learning action group, which ultimately became Thrive by 5 Louisville. And to have the wonderful leadership of Ashley and Raylene and their team right now that are working to make sure that every 3- and 4-year-old child in our city has access to great childcare, to early childhood education. That work is starting now. And to have a partner like the Bezos Academy, to have partners like LDG and all of those amazing funders that you just heard about, this is truly transformative for our city. None of us here today are going to get any of the credit, but that's okay. Because the legacy of what we're launching today is going to be something that makes our city in 20, 30, 40 years so much stronger. So to Miguel and to the entire Bezos Academy team, thank you all so much for choosing Louisville, for working with us here in Louisville. You are going to change the lives of so many families. This here property in Russell is the first, but we're getting ready over the next couple of weeks to open 3 of what will ultimately be 4 in the first phase of Bezos Academy in Louisville. They're going to have classrooms serving up to, when we're all open, 260 children. That's 260 families. They're going to have free, year-round, great child care experiences with this Montessori education experience that Lisa talked about, to give every one of these Bezos Academy students a strong start and a bright start as they enter their educational experiences in kindergarten. Their lives are going to be changed forever, and their families' lives are going to be changed as well. Their parents are going to have more opportunities to create good paying career path jobs for themselves, to provide for their opportunities. And as kids, they will be able to pursue whatever dreams they have, dreams that they're thinking about starting at the Bezos Academy. So to everyone, again, with the Bezos Academy, to everyone who helped make this a reality, thank you. We are thrilled to be part of this launch. We're thrilled that people in Louisville will now be able to see what world-class early childhood education looks like. It's happening right here in Russell, in Okolona, in Fairdale, and more across our city, because we are going to keep working together. Through Thrive by 5, we're going to continue to support the Bezos Academy, and we're going to continue to support other quality child care providers and early childhood educators all across this city. We should be known for what a wonderful job we're doing here in Louisville for early childhood education, and we're starting that today. So thank you all so much, and thank you for helping to give these kids new opportunities for their entire life, and new opportunities when they enter their first day at Jefferson County Public Schools. Which brings us to our next speaker. We are very fortunate to have a great, strong new leader of JCPS. Dr. Yearwood has only been in our community for a few months, but he has hit the ground running, visiting schools, working with his team, doing outreach to the community, listening to parents and students alike, and focusing on solutions just like I talked about, to make the kids' lives better, to make the families' lives better, to make the school system better, and to make our city better and stronger. All strong cities need an incredibly strong public education system in the K through 12 area. And I am so excited about our bright future for JCPS and the city of Louisville with the leadership of Dr. Yearwood. Please join me in welcoming our new superintendent.
Good morning. You know, as I sat here and as I read the banners back here, all children deserve the great start that an excellent preschool provides. A vision statement that has been brought to life here in Louisville, a vision that is much needed. Coming in as superintendent, you know, I look at data, I look at statistics, and I was somewhat daunted by the fact that in our preschool programs, we had a waiting list of over 400 children. And you stop and think about that. Parents eager to put their student somewhere and give their child a start in the educational process. And we weren't making that happen. And then, lo and behold, we heard about the Bezos Academy. We heard about the great initiative, the vision that was being brought to Louisville. I don't know, again, if it was just chance or whatever, but that vision is critical. That vision is going to take us to new heights in our educational process. You heard the Lieutenant Governor speak about the trajectory of students if by third grade they're not reading on grade level. And that's a travesty. Let's think about that. And by the time you get to 8 and 9 years old, your pathway is paved because of the educational process. Well, guess what? I'm the wrong one because I'm going to break that up. We cannot sacrifice the education of our children. We have to make sure that as adults, we continue to demonstrate and make the decisions that truly impact our children, because the number one influence on student outcomes are adult behaviors. And we have to be in check. We have to be in step. We have to make sure that we do everything possible to give these children a fighting chance. And I will be working with my team, working with whomever, the mayor's office, which has been great, Thrive by 5, the Bezos Academy. We will work as a team to elevate children. It's an honor to be celebrating this groundbreaking of the Bezos Academy here in our community. Again, this is more than just the construction of a building. This is the beginning of the construction of a life of a child. You think about that. A child's trajectory being influenced right here in this beautiful school, in this environment. Cannot go wrong there. I stand here both as superintendent, but also as someone whose story reminds me, and I hope it serves as an example of the power of education. While I didn't grow up in a single family home, I did grow up with very meager beginnings because my parents were educators. My mom, kindergarten teacher. But back in the day, education teaching was like a second job. That was not a primary job. So I understand that. But the value that was placed in education has allowed me to come from meager beginnings to where I am today. And what I hope to see is that because of initiatives like this, we see the next superintendent evolve. We see the next president evolve because of their education. Wouldn't that be great to know if the next president of the United States went to a Bezos Academy? Think about that. Is it possible? Come on. Yes.
Maybe in 30 years.
In 30 years. Okay. Okay. I'll take a bet on that. Okay. All right. So, early childhood education is a great equalizer. We all know that. It levels the playing field, ignites curiosity, provides the foundation for lifelong learning. And when we invest in our children at the very start, again, we are not just preparing them for kindergarten, but for life. Today, we break ground not only on a building, it's not just a building, but on the dreams of children who will walk through its doors. And I, for one, I am excited, I am enthusiastic, I am ready to get on the road with this process. With the fantastic staff, I just met your leader, and I could tell already she's not going to play. All right? She's not going to play. And I, for one, I'm looking forward to what's to come. Thank you, Miguel, for your innovation, for your thoughts. You could be, he could be out inventing, doing all kinds of fun stuff. But his passion is why we're here today. And I thank you and the Bezos Academy for what you're doing, sir. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Hey, I could hardly wait to walk in there. All right? We going today? All right. Come on. Thank you all. I'm supposed to introduce Miguel, CEO of the Bezos Academy.
All right, so this is like a tough act to follow. We've got amazing orators, career-long educators and politicians, and then you've got me. So get ready for disappointment and me reading my notes pretty carefully. So let me start off by, and also you took all my material, so it's going to be a bunch of repetition here. Let me start by thanking Dr. Yearwood. We had a chance to meet yesterday with you and your team, and I really look forward to collaborating with you to ensure children that graduate from Bezos Academy thrive in your schools. My pledge to you is to deliver kids that are all kindergarten ready and ready to thrive and be leaders in your schools. I also look forward to sharing our training resources where possible to ensure that whatever we've built, you can use in your schools if you want. Mayor Greenberg, I'd like to thank you and your staff for making preschool access a priority in your administration. I don't know a lot about politics, but I know 3- and 4-year-olds don't vote yet. But I appreciate that. That shows a lot of forethought, and we're proud to partner with you on our Fairdale location, which looks absolutely stunning as well. Lieutenant Governor Coleman, we just met, but our teams have been working together. And look, I think what you're doing for Kentuckians, am I saying that correctly? Kentuckians, is outstanding. And the fact that you're championing these initiatives, both as personally as a mom and as an educator, it shows that you know the struggles. This is a hard business, and having that inside knowledge is critical to making a change. A special thanks to our district leader, Christina. Where's Christina? There she is. Everybody should go by and say hello to Christina. Christina's been with Bezos Academy for 3 years, and she's been critical to launching these schools. And I'd also like to shout out Amy, Felicia, and Jenny, who are here, who are heads of schools, who are excited to get... All right, this is what I can do differently from all the other speakers. Let's have a lot of clapping after I say something amazing. And then you see a lot of folks wearing Bezos Academy t-shirts. Go up to them, give them a high five, and say good luck to them, because the real work is about to start. So thank you to all the teachers that have showed up here today. Cheers. And then I'd like to thank Chris and Lisa, but to really properly thank Chris and Lisa, I have to go back in history, take the time machine, and tell you a little bit about Bezos Academy and our inception. So almost 6 years ago, in the before times, in 2019, before the pandemic, a small group of us were in a WeWork with a mission statement, which you read, behind me, and a whiteboard. And we were trying to draw out rules for what we would do and what we would not do. And, we're trying to figure out how to build schools and how to do it at scale and how to do it in multiple states and the complexity that comes with that. And we knew we had to work with local partners to be successful. I remember writing in bold red letters, work with communities, find like-minded partners. We knew we'd fail if we provided preschools to communities. The key here is to communities. And we knew we would win if we would bring preschools with the community. As much as I love being in Louisville, I don't really know this town. I'd much rather have Chris and Lisa tell me where to put my schools because they know this place. They live here. They understand what's happening in the city and where the need is greatest. And that's what we've done in the last 5.5 years. I've seen our teams come together and build and launch schools in Washington, Florida, Texas, Arizona, and now Kentucky. Okay. See, I'm starting to pick up the whole thing. Yeah. Look, in these schools, you're sitting here just trying to launch a school, and there's no children here quite yet, although some people say I'm quite childish. But once you see them in action, it really all comes together. I've had the privilege of going to schools all over the place and seeing schools filled with teachers that are passionate and dedicated to the children we serve. I've seen preschoolers graduate and leap into kindergarten with confidence, knowing they're ready. I've seen and heard thousands of parents and the positive impact our programs have had on their family and their children. Every year we do surveys with parents, and I keep all those messages. And, we are going to have tough times and good times, but reading all those messages, that's part of the good times. Invariably, there's tears associated with those survey results, like good tears. Look, and again, Mayor Greenberg, you talked about this. The real proof will come in 30 years. Maybe we have a president. Maybe we have a Nobel Prize winner. Maybe we have a titan of industry, or maybe we have a bunch of teachers that graduate our school, which I think that'd be good too. And the real proof will be when we have thousands of Bezos Academy alumni that can attest the positive impact this program had on their lives. But that's why we're here with this team, a team that has the courage to plant trees, the shade of which you might never see. I don't know if I'll be around in 30 years, but I think it takes a lot of courage to plant trees this early on. 5 years ago, we met with Chris and Lisa. We visited our first school, had lunch together. We weren't talking about Kentucky, but the conversation came back to Louisville every single time. And they were quick to tell us about the need a program like that Kentucky needed a program like ours. And they said, hey, we believe that the community will rise up and they'll support us and help us succeed. And how right they were. Next month, we'll open 3 schools in Louisville, here in Russell, over in Fairdale. I'm a little switched up. And somewhere around here in Okolona. Together, these 3 schools will serve 200 children, ages 3 to 5, and next year we'll open our 4th at Riverport, adding 80 more seats. These 280 families, and I think I gave you the wrong numbers. I gave you 260 yesterday. It's too. I apologize. I fed you the wrong information. That was not my goal. These 280 families, they can do their jobs. They can rest easy. I've seen countless parents drop off their children, and I've seen their shoulders sag down because they know they're dropping off their children in a safe, warm environment with teachers that are really well trained and ready to take their children's learning to the next level. So, where's Chris? And there he is. Where's Chris? And then where's Lisa? There you go. Oh my God, I can't really look at one of you. I gotta look at both of you this way. This is gonna be hard. So I'll just look at my papers. So Chris, Lisa, we have a lot to celebrate. I want to just thank you from the bottom of my heart for your perseverance, for your patience, for your support and your courage to invest in the future. You're both an inspiration to me. Thank you for opening your doors and unwavering support. Clap. Okay. All right. That was pretty good. All right. Last but not least, I'd like to thank you, Louisville. All of you. The city's special. The number of elected officials, foundations, nonprofits, and community members who've lent their time, funding, and expertise to us to bring us this moment to reality is nothing short of inspiring. We've been all across the country, and this is really special, really special. I'll close by saying a couple things. As a child, I was the beneficiary of transformational impacts of excellent education. It changed the course of my life completely. I immigrated to this country when I was 12 and had access to amazing school nearly for free, and it changed the course of my life to the point where I have to pinch myself with the opportunity that I have here before you. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful for you all and Jeff and Lauren's philanthropy. You know, we love to say that great starts lead to great futures. The fact is, preschool really matters. Education really matters. Like, this isn't one piece of research. It's all the pieces of research, time and time again, show that participating in a great preschool plays a huge role in setting kids up for success. Not just elementary school, but in life. Education leads to transformation. And speaking of transformation, I know that our school team here is eager to show you inside. This used to be a parking lot or nothing much, and now it's a school, and it's really going to be a home for 80 children to feel comfortable. And when parents drop off children at this location, they're going to be proud to say, hey, my kid goes to school here. They're going to show up more often because this building is beautiful. They're going to show up more often because our teachers are really well trained and ready to welcome them on day one. Anyway, look, there's some logistics here, right? So please make your way to the front entrance of the school. We'll be offering tours in groups, so feel free to enjoy refreshments as you wait. When you're ready to exit the building, please use the rear doors through the playground to leave the front entrance for other visitors. Thank you so much. Oh boy, what I miss? All right. Cheers. Thanks. All right.
So before we go in for the tour, we at LDG have a tradition of cutting the ribbon at our developments. And so we're going to cut the ribbon so we could have the mayor and Chris and Lisa and Miguel and the head of the school come up front. Sarah? Okay, with the ribbon. And I want to recognize two people, Councilmember Purvis, who represents this district. Yeah. And then I gotcha. The chair of the school board, he's my pastor too, Corey Scholl, Dr. Corey Scholl. So he's had a tough week. He's also he's a pastor for my whole family. Also, he has to try to get us into heaven. And so but I do want the council member to come up and join us up front with the lieutenant governor and Rachel and Lisa and Chris, and then Mark Lechner, who is the L and LDG. He and Chris and Lisa kind of divide and conquer and decide who's going to speak. But his wife is a retired teacher from JCPS, and so everybody come up and we're going to cut the ribbon. Thank you all.